Hello everyone, it's Alessandra here. Welcome back and thank you for dropping by. I'm very grateful. I've been asked what psychic abilities are and how we can tap into them. And most people believe that psychic abilities are only gifts that certain people have. Now, it is true that there are souls on this planet right now that have gifts that require them to be connected mostly to their psychic abilities, their intuitive side, their capabilities of healing through the voice or through the energy. But at the same time, I can say to you all that we all have that gift. There is no one excluded. The only exclusion is because you allow your mind to interact in a way that it tells you that that's not true, or wants evidence of how it happens. That's really not possible. The only evidence you have is your trust that the messages that you receive are not just coming out of nowhere. They seem as if they do, but they're actually always spot on. You trust your intuition, you trust that psychic connection that you have. We are all connected to Source. We all have an inner being connected to Source. But at the same time, we're also connected to Mother Earth. And what happens is that the mind makes us believe that we are not, that we don't have any capabilities other than to listen to this critical mind. That's not true. At least in my world, it's not. So I invite you all to understand that you may already, and most possibly you are receiving messages. Now for me, it's very simple. Left hemisphere, always my critic. I can assure you, anything that comes from my left side is always very critical in my life. Now, not so much right now, but years gone by, yes. Whereas on my right, which I consider to be the connection with the right hemisphere, which is, the creative side, that's where my soul speaks. And that's mostly the energies coming through that way. Now, I do get messages in different ways, but this is how I equate it. Because your inner being will never be negative, never has that aim to be critical towards you. It will guide you. It will listen to you. It will respond to your requests in ways that may be known to you only. So for me, if I'm in front of a computer and I ask a question, because I'm using that as a basis for every day, I most probably will get a response through something that pops up on a Google search or whatever else. And may not be even Google, maybe just a document that comes up. For other occasions, if I'm more outdoor, I might get signs in nature. It can come through symbols, signs, numbers. Right now I'm seeing all sorts of numbers. I see regos on the cars that they make me go, oh my gosh, because I either see 885 and then 558, 616 and then 161, or I wake up and it's 111, or I was sending a message the other day, I looked at the time, 111. So, I'm getting all sorts of numbers, but they're usually in sequence of 3, 2, 3. So every single number has a meaning. So that's my guide. That's my soul. It speaks in numbers. It's the language of God is numbers, letters, vibrations, energies. Our DNA is made up of numbers and letters and sacred geometry. All you have to do is have a look at what is present in our human body. Our DNA is like the connection with God, and it's programmed to make us evolve at certain levels. Right now we're all evolving, but at the same time the psychic abilities are something that are not tangible. They are unique to each one of us. As I said, I have messages coming through in different ways, through our 5 senses, through symbols on the outside. If you're very connected to your inner being, you will actually hear the voice or a message coming through as a thought form, and then it becomes an image. They usually are not negative. If they are, you have to ask, who am I speaking to? Well, that's a good thing to do in any case. But as I said, I equate it to left and right. The merging of the two, left and right frontal lobes, are important because we create that unity between the connection with our higher self, and this vessel has to have that function. Whatever we do, however, is always connected to our capability of tapping in and trusting. Now, if you don't trust it, you will get the messages in any case. Every single one of us right now is getting messages. For some, it may be more in dreams, and for others instead, it's more on a visual format outside, or thoughts that come in, and they come in a way that it's unequivocal. You can also feel it in your body if you're asking for healing. If you do meditation, and anyone doing yoga meditation, the breathing always connects you with your inner being. So this beautiful relationship with your inner being is what brings about more psychic abilities, more intuitive messages coming through. And that's for us to decide that we want to connect with it. It's not excluded to anyone. If you need to use it for your healing in any way, form, or manner to help others, it will come through very strongly. And it will just, like, sometimes I feel I've got someone pushing me in my back. But the nudges will come. The messages will come. It's just a matter of wanting and saying yes to that connection. You can decide not to, but that doesn't mean that the gift is precluded from you. It's just that you are saying no to it. Now, many times I get messages, and I have to, especially if I'm working with someone else doing a reading, I have to trust them implicitly. And sometimes I get some very bizarre things coming through that I think, am I going to relay it the way it's coming through? But I have found the most interesting thing is that, yes, I just say, look, I have to say it because this is sort of what's coming through. The interesting thing is that it doesn't make sense to me, but to the person I have in front of me, it makes perfect sense. And they actually, I get some very interesting reactions. So I've learned to trust it implicitly. But then I'm asked, how do I enhance it? How do I make it work? How do I make it happen? So it's not about me doing anything specifically. What I'm doing is I'm connecting to the soul that needs to relay a message on the other side. So that soul is bringing through in the way that I am able to take that message on, and I just relay it the way it comes through. So I invite you all to look into it a bit more, because there's so much more to it. But I'm just giving it to you because today I felt that that needed to be explained. And it's not a strong explanation because it's very short, because I'm, not really wanting to go too long into it. But because the important thing is to understand that no one is precluded from it. There is no single human being on this earth. It's a choice to not want to hear it, to not want to see the signs. But if you start paying attention and ask a question, always ask. If it's negative, you're going to have to figure out who you're speaking to so that you don't attract in the negativity from your critical mind. But otherwise, everything is always being a guidance from within. And we are all connected to Source. So I'm connected to you, you're connected to me. No matter where you are right now in this moment in the world, I am still connected to you and you are still connected to me. And we are both connected to what I call Source, but I also equate it this way in a very funny way. Imagine that it's a petrol station and you have a diesel car, so it's got the petrol station that of Source is a diesel petrol station. When you are connected to it, your car, your messages will come through because you're connecting to the source, the diesel, and you're putting diesel in your car. When instead you are in the mind and in the negative, then your car won't be connected to that beautiful petrol station, diesel station that is Source. And your car will find on its road obstacles to not make it move. So obstacles means that you won't receive what you want. You will push and you don't get the messages. You'll get more negative stuff happening in your life. When you are connected, you've put your diesel car connected into the pump of the diesel consciousness, the source, then things will happen and your car will smoothly drive along the road because it receives the right fuel. Now that's just my way of putting it out in a very funny way. Maybe it wasn't funny, but anyway, forgive me for that. But that's how I see it. Okay, so I do my best to stay connected to that source. If I'm not, I will see it because I get the negative on my left, and also I see it in my life because things don't work, and that pulls me back to make me understand that I'm not using the right energy. I'm not in the right station. I'm actually in no station. I'm just going randomly wherever it happens, and negativity shows up. So right now, on the flow of that, I will choose a card from my John Holden cards. I want to see what card comes through on the flow of that. Hopefully it helps you a little bit. Oh, nice. Destiny. I'm going to put these down because I'll drop them. Right. Well, this sort of matches what I was saying, because our destiny is actually to stay connected to our consciousness source. Sorry, I dabbled with the words. With consciousness, which is the source, which we are all connected to. And that's what happens when we step into this body, right? What happens is that we have to go into amnesia, because the soul needs to forget what it knows. Otherwise, there's no lesson and there's no movement. It needs to evolve. And source is experiencing life through this experience. So it comes in as a soul into this vessel, which is programmed to walk along a path, which the soul decides before it comes, with God, source, consciousness. And then we have a destiny, which is to find our way back to that source. And our way back to source will only happen if we step through our lessons and learn them quickly and evolve. And trust that that little voice is not just a random thing, but we need to connect with our inner being. So in the body, the soul is, for the first 7 years of a child's life, they are still in strong connection with the soul. Then, they step into the world and that connection is severed, or in some cases not so much, because their surrounding, their family, where they live and whatever they're receiving keeps them open to the possibilities of that connection. Others, unfortunately, then go into the world and disconnect, so they have to find their way back. It's called the hero's journey in the tarot, and at a certain point in life something happens. And right now I'm saying that a lot of the heroes, a lot of the souls are experiencing a jolt, a moment of truth where they have to step back and they have to look at their journey. That's one of the experiences that's coming through. But what is it that we are here to achieve? Our destiny is, it's a number 10 card, which becomes a 1, to learn that from this experience there is a new beginning. And this new beginning is what we all came here to experience, not what we're seeing. So what we're seeing, we need to, as much as we can, take our attention off, because what we are looking at, what we're hearing, what we're feeling, and what we are sort of being put in front of all the time is old news. It's already done. We've already created it. Now it's time to step into that capability, to be the hero, come back into alignment with the journey, find our way back to source, listen to the messages, and step into our power and create the world we want, because it's a new beginning. It's a destiny. We're not here to destroy everything. We are here to create something new, something so majestic that source, God, consciousness has put into play for us, but we need to be part of it. We need to be part of it by putting our energy into creating it. So the hero right now is, okay, you've got the jolt, you've understood something's not working, now step out of it. The grieving process is denial, blaming others on the outside, even close family, and then anger and acceptance. Now there are other steps, but I'm going to keep it simple. So wherever you are in that, and if you've gone beyond it, then you are the one, together with others, who can start creating that energy. And I trust in you all. For today, I'm going to leave this, and I thank you for coming in. Till next time, thank you.